Class is in session.
Am I supposed to call you Joey?
Or you can call me whatever you want.
Okay, asshole.
And welcome to On Learn 16 Classes in Session. I've had a 2-week break. I feel relaxed. I feel calm, refreshed. I feel like I'm covered in lint. And I am here with Melissa. And I would say your TikTok fame name, but it makes me physically uncomfortable. So I'm not going to say that. We'll say LaundryTok. Yeah, Melissa, yeah. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I wanted to bring you on, talk about all things TikTok, all things laundry. Again, I'm not going to say the C word. You're welcome to say it if you want. Let's start with why on God's green earth did you start TikTok?
I don't know. I started it because my secretary told me about it. And
your secretary? That's a TikTok that needs to be made. My secretary.
I think I call her that, but I think I'm supposed to say assistant.
You and Ed Asner both have secretaries. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. She told me about it, and then my kids were on it. I didn't really get it, and I thought it was really for kids.
Well, yeah, technically, I think we've taken it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But you had some, a little bit of notoriety prior to on Facebook, but you kind of were doing TikToks there. You just didn't know you were doing TikToks.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing longer videos for sure on Facebook.
Right.
I mean, they were like 20, 30 minutes.
20?
Yeah.
Those are movies, actually. That's a film.
And then
were they artistic?
No, they were the same thing. They were just talking, what you're familiar with. But yeah, and then I don't know. And then I just tried it, and my kids wouldn't show me how to use it. So I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to, this timer thing. I kept telling my daughter to come back in because we did a dance, and I was like, help us, because we keep pressing it and these numbers keep coming. We didn't know how to do it. Anyways, then, yeah, I'm still figuring it out though. Well, there's tons of stuff I don't know how to do on it.
And so many people are so much, they've magnified every sort of transition they possibly can. Mm-hmm. There's transitions that I watch and I'm like, I can't even be bothered going down that road.
Well, that was at the beginning. I tried the transitions because I was watching them and I thought, oh, these are kind of cool. I should try them. And that's how I kind of started, was doing transitions.
Okay, but let's get into it. Look, Melissa has a certain clientele on TikTok. And I use the word clientele purposefully. Your clientele is so that you, let's say, in a provocative way, teach them how to do important everyday tasks. I think that's a fair descriptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun way watching somebody do a maybe tedious task, right?
And thus, your nicknames on TikTok are what?
LaundryTok.
And?
Cock Talk. Oh. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
That's
I didn't
invent
those. That's what kind of...
you didn't invent that, right?
No,
that was
and
around
it came out of Bread Talk because
right.
Hannah Bread Talk started it, and I thought, wow, this girl is making bread, and I'm pretty sure that all of these people watching her make bread...
It is a heightened sexualization kind of the bread.
Yeah, because they're not watching it because they're going to be making bread. But I think a lot of people, I don't know, did they have intentions on making bread during the pandemic when it first started?
Well, some people did. I remember trying to buy... Well, no,
yeast.
That's not true. I didn't try to buy flour. I would never try, but I remember it being sold out.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find any yeast.
Yeah.
Right? So...
buy that either.
But anyways, I thought I would duet her, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? I can't do bread. I'll just do laundry. I mean, that's kind of
So that was the first thing you did?
Yeah, that's how it started.
And then it popped off.
Yeah. I duetted her doing laundry as she does the bread dump. I did a laundry dump. I folded terribly because I was just trying to get through because her videos are short, so I only had a 30-second.
Right.
And then it kind of blew up, and then somebody said LaundryTok.
And that was it?
Yeah, and it was the people saying to me, oh, you should be in the dryer, because Hannah's always in the fridge when she talks.
Oh, yeah, she opens the door.
Yeah, so that they gave me the idea of doing it in the dryer, and I thought, okay, well, this is kind of weird. I don't know why people want to actually watch me fold laundry. And I always knew that I was weird. Like, I always knew that I was organized and did my, just when people would come over and see my closet.
Yeah, you were weird in real life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't just fold laundry, though, normally, like a normal human, right? And
it's normal for me.
But was that instilled, did you grow up in a military-style family? I want to know what happened where you don't just... when I fold a shirt, I definitely don't get the crease down the middle. So,
yes.
That's for beginners. But when I fold a shirt, you fold it in, you try not to get and that's about the extent of it. But you fold in parts, you flip hoods over, there's corners, there's like parallelograms that you've made with your
It's always
pants.
the same sort of premise, is that you kind of try to start with a rectangle.
But
really.
why?
And then, well, I don't, my grandmother was really, I spent a lot of time with her, and she was a cleaner and an organizer. And
That's what she did as a profession?
No, it's just what she just did.
She's an older lady who liked to be organized.
She just ran the household. She worked full time. Her house was always spotless. She always had a routine. Like Mondays was dusting, and Tuesdays were, polishing the floors. And I just sort of learned that from her. And I used to do laundry with her. She had a wringer, and we would do the laundry together.
Yeah.
She showed me how to iron, how to wrap presents. She worked at Hallmark. Cards. She made cards by hand back in the day. And that's just kind of where I picked it up from. But I have adapted a lot of the folds because of different drawers, or my kids want it in different ways, or for packing when you're going away.
Oh my God, you fold your laundry differently per child?
Well, whoever likes, however they...
That's insane.
I mean, because I'll do a lot of different folds, and then the comments will be something like, well, why are you folding it that? It's like, well, because, either it's for travel or somebody likes it that way, because not everybody has room to hang everything up, or not everyone has room. Some people like to fold their hoodies, some people like to hang them up. So it's just giving...
You're a fold the hoodie kind of girl, right?
Yeah, actually, I hang my hoodies. That's the only thing I do hang, but only by the hoods, right? I don't even hang them on hangers because I don't like...
How many hoodies do you have, though?
Oh,
and how do you have
more
space
than
for all of them? You do not have more hoodies than me.
swear.
I am about to take this podcast into my other room, and we're about to...
Yeah,
we should do... You know what we should do? Let's do a duet where we bring out... Well, it'll be a throwback to transitions, and we'll just do a quick little transition, and we'll run the 3 minutes. Could you run like 3 minutes of a...
I mean, that was one of the first TikToks I did, because everybody said, show us your drawers. And then I showed them my drawers, and then the next one was like, I called it closet porn, because people they wanted to see what my closet looked like. And
people love to see my closet.
Yeah.
They love to see,
So, I mean, that's what I did.
I mean, I don't fold things like you do, but we're gonna do a sweatshirt off. Now I'm a little upset that I've sold a few just recently.
I know, and I've had to get rid of them. I had to pare down. It was crazy. I had so many, and
This is brand new. For those of you who can't see, I'm wearing a new Plains hoodie. It's a Jay-Z company.
I asked for hoodies for Christmas, and my girlfriend said no, but she did buy me one, but she said I had enough.
Only one.
Yeah, just
what
one.
What a mean girl.
But I'm like you. I think, because I have an addiction to jackets as well.
Oh, jackets. That whole closet is filled with jackets.
Yeah,
I've had to shift them.
I've had to
I have a
pare them
jacket
down.
problem. I have a hoodie problem. I have a shoe problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been on TikTok for how long?
Just over a year, I guess. I think I was a late starter.
Yeah, you started later than me, and you're sitting at about 1.2 million. What would you say? We'll start with the bad. What's been the worst? I don't know, impact or comment or effect of TikTok? Do you think the worst?
For me personally,
Yeah.
it's funny, but
We have a peanut gallery watching us tape this, just so everybody knows. Sometimes it's hard to keep a straight face and not watch them laugh at us. Go ahead.
okay. So it's but I can laugh at it now. So when I transitioned from Facebook,
I love the deep breath. I'm pretty.
I was very.
I'm on the edge of my seat,
Listen,
folks.
no, you know what? It was the first transition video I did. It blew up, and it was like, I didn't really understand how TikTok worked, and I didn't really understand. And I've got like 800,000 views, and I don't really know what's going on or why people. I didn't even know that there was following. I thought I followed everybody back. But I started to read the comments, and they were things like, "Oh, I didn't know I was into middle-aged lesbians." And
So it was you jumped into a dating profile.
No, it was
Unintentionally.
No, it was hurtful, because like I didn't know I was a middle-aged lesbian. And like people were saying like, "Oh, are you my mom?" Or like I'm getting, and then they're like saying things. At one of the comments, I always joke is that
you never told me that.
It's terrible. It was so upsetting. And what was funny was that it said like, "Oh, I'm totally raising my Tinder age range now," right? And we always joke about it now.
Oh my!
But it was comment after comment, and I thought,
Wait a minute.
I'm an old lesbian.
Am I middle-aged? Well, you're like, what, 62, 63? Something like that?
Well, and so that was upsetting to me. So I actually went back to Facebook and did a video about it, and said like how traumatized I was because I didn't even think of it this way, and I said to my Facebook people, look, I'm done with that. I didn't know I was old. I didn't know, and it was just, they were positive comments. I think that people meant it in a nice way.
You just had a bit of a
I just had no idea.
So my viewers know, we are both the same age, and we are this is the middle.
I know, but I didn't know
we're
it.
in the middle.
I just didn't know I was in the middle, and I thought, what the hell happened?
So wait, you got one big video, and you go, I'm done. People think I'm old. I'm
but
out.
I didn't really even know.
There's a bunch of teenagers watching you, probably.
Yeah, well, and I didn't even know it was a big video. I really didn't understand it, right? But then every single, so obviously if you've got almost 1 million views, you've got a lot of comments,
right?
And I'm reading the comments. And they're
and
all
getting
like
more and more depressed by the
mommy,
moment.
mommy, and then it's like constant, like, whoa, this is working. All this stuff about me being, middle-aged and that sort of thing. So, anyways, that was the worst.
That was the worst. Now, okay, so you go back to the comforts of Facebook, which you don't hear ever. And where your nice little ecosystem is, and then how much, and then so you go back there. When do you come back to TikTok? How long of a break? Do you take a big break?
Yeah, well, I wasn't caring about TikTok. I didn't really, I still didn't fully understand it, to be honest. Yeah. And I really liked watching it, but I was having a hard time transitioning because, like you, I like to talk. And so I had a hard time with this 1 minute business.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what can I really say
Back in the day,
a minute?
kids, TikTok used to only be a minute.
Yeah.
Well, and you were going from short films.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have made a video really much less than 10 minutes. I had a really big video, and that was maybe 3 minutes.
Right.
But that was really short.
Is that the kid? Is that when you impersonate your kids?
Yeah.
Like with the toothpaste all over the place?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the worst thing. Mm-hmm. So how long do you take? A month? What do you take, a week?
I'm not on it all the time.
Kid gets 800,000 views, and she's like, I'm going to take a break.
Probably a month. At least I would say a month. It wasn't like I was taking a break. I was just like, I'm going to go back to Facebook where it's like a little bit more positive, which was funny because I thought, I mean, I was watching it and stuff. And then I came back and did a sort of a lip sync or whatever. Right. And I thought, I don't know if that's what I want to do. I don't know if I want to be a lip syncer.
You got to be careful. It's so funny. Somebody said this the other day. They're like, I just want to be famous on TikTok. I just want to, I just need a thing. I'm like, careful what your thing is, because you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life. Like that thing, whatever that thing is. And, because some people's thing is and I started lip syncing when I started doing this. And I thank God every day that I didn't blow up doing that. Because then you'd be stuck doing that. I mean, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's like pretend. It's a little bit of play. But what are you going to do with that? You just got to lip sync for the rest of your life and have people think that you look really good?
I think you have to start doing that. Everybody has a couple of those.
100%. But I'm just happy because there's a lot of people that's their claim to fame. Yeah. Then you hear them speak and you're like, whoa.
Well, and that's the thing. And I wasn't going to just do that. Yeah. And yet I was trying to figure out a way to kind of like take what I was doing and move it into 1 minute. Right. But yeah, I don't know. And then, just things. I tried a lot of different things, I tried a lot of different things, and I wasn't really trying to get famous or anything. I was just having fun. And
you think it's weird now? Because back then when I get like 100 views, I remember when it was like, 100, 300 people. And because I came from Instagram, you at least came from a little bit of like fame and notoriety from Facebook, but I came from Instagram, where the only people that saw my stuff were my 7 friends. Like I wasn't. So when I was getting even 1,000 likes or 1,000 views, I'm like, this is amazing, right? And I felt no stress about it. Whereas now, when you're sitting at 1.2, do you post TikTok and go,
why is it only at 20,000?
Why is it only at 20,000?
Yeah.
What a horrible feeling.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And that's where you have to, I think it's a fine line. You have to be very careful, right? Because you're supposed to be having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, yes, you expect a certain percentage of your followers to at least see your stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and TikTok has changed 1 million times since we've been on it. But I think, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it can be a little, I don't even know what the word is, but it is you almost take offense to it, like what's going on,
a little bit,
right?
like,
Or
yeah,
it's
that was really funny. And you and I both said this, like some of the TikToks where I post them and go, I don't know if I should even post that, and you throw it up there and they do the best.
It's the weirdest
by
thing.
far. You're like, I have no judgment
Well,
whatsoever.
I had done sort of close to the beginning-ish. I had done a video about just made a joke about my neighbor who's lovely. She's like almost 100 years old. And that one actually sort of did really well. And I was saying to my son, like, what's going on? Like, this has got 10,000 views. I just posted it, because it was weird at the time. You didn't know. But now, I mean, you post something and you watch it for a little bit just to see how it goes, but you never know. And it's always the worst.
I think that's kind of I mean, in a way, it's not amazing because, like, let's be honest, if you think you're putting out good content, you're like, but I want people to see this. But on the flip side, the lovely part of TikTok is it doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, where you live. I've seen people with 2,000 followers get like 6 million views on something. Like, it just, you never know how it's going to blow up like that. You just never know. So I think the key is to do things that you think are funny, you think are enjoyable, you have a good time doing.
That's the key.
Because then you never know. You never know either way. But at least you're doing stuff that's enjoyable.
Well, and the whole idea is that it's fun. It's not anything else for me. It's just that it's fun. And I have never sort of continued to do the same thing, even though something will be successful, let's say the laundry. I don't just do the laundry, right? Because if I think something's funny, I'll do it. So, the caulking thing was just a joke. I mean, really, and I do think people think it's funny.
Strong run.
But it's had a good run.
It's been a good run.
In the laundry, I do a bit of lip syncing still, because if I can hear a really good sound and I think it's hilarious, why not?
I don't think I've seen, there's a lot of winks, Melissa.
Yes.
There's a lot of winks.
The wink is my fault, and the wink is so random. It was in my second video. I'd have no idea why I winked. Even after I filmed it, I was like, why did I just do that?
And that was it. People love it.
They loved it. And then, and from that, people have all these other expectations, because Hannah pats the bread, I have to pat the laundry. And then people like it when I push the laundry forward at the end. And then now they like it when I point at the end and walk off. So there's a lot of expectations. And a lot of my retakes are to do with, I forgot to point. I forgot to point. Well, because I have to pat it and push the laundry forward, point at the camera, and walk off. But I only have a minute. We have a lot of deep issues going on TikTok. Where's all this patting thing coming from? Okay, so worst thing. Everybody called you middle aged, which we are. A best thing. Best thing is, well, obviously I met my girlfriend on TikTok. Yeah.
And we both have a very similar story. I don't know. So your story, I mean, my story goes, I posted something, I look like Justin Bieber, and then that was it. And DM me on Instagram, and the rest is history. And yours, was it a bit more significant?
No, I posted
something and
that I thought was pretty funny. Like, it was just one of those TikToks I did. And I only know this now. But it wasn't the laundry. It was before the laundry, and that she liked it and sort of watched it or whatever. And I had found her and was following her. I just thought she was cool, and I obviously thought she was cute and funny, and we're kind of following each other for quite a while. And then I think when I started doing the laundry, she almost unfollowed me.
Because she's like, this
what?
Flirtatious
Well, no, just
ass.
like, what is this? Because I really like the other stuff you were doing. And then she got on board with the laundry, I guess. And then
rolled from that?
Yeah. And then we discovered that we were both sort of following each other. I think that I went on one of her lives. She startled me because it was the first live I had been on, particularly to participate in. I didn't know how they worked either.
Right.
And when I went on, she sort of screamed, and I jumped because it's like weird, because it looks like when you're looking at a live, when you've never done it before, you think that you're almost on a FaceTime.
Right.
So I was like, because she yelled when I came on, and I was like, anyways, and then that was kind of cute. And I've posted that as a TikTok, that live.
Right.
Which was kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, that's just. So that was the best thing, obviously.
So sweet. I was waiting for that answer. I feel as though a lot of people joke about TikTok being a dating app, but of course it is.
I didn't know it was that either.
But
to be honest, I didn't know.
Okay, so I've told some stories online about some of my straight girlfriends being on Tinder and I don't even know what the other ones are. All of those dating sites, which are seemingly god awful. And then everybody's making fun of TikTok being a dating app. I'm like, but this is such a better dating app. Because you see them in real time. Now, granted, y'all, we have filters. Like I said before, we carry ring lights, so don't, it's not necessarily perfection. But you see them, and even better, if you see them talk and you see them interact.
And just their overall content
you get
choices.
to know who they are. I think I think if you want, and I've said this to my friends, get a TikTok. You get a TikTok, put yourself out there, put who you are on the page, and then if people like it, awesome. And if people don't, who cares? You're never going to know. Somebody might call you middle-aged, but besides that.
And I didn't know it was a dating app.
Neither did I.
I had no idea.
But it's a great one.
I learned from Facebook.
For consenting adults.
I learned from Facebook to not read my DMs because I was getting a ton of inappropriate stuff on Facebook. So I thought, I know better. Not that I necessarily knew how to open them for a while.
How inappropriate?
Really inappropriate.
What, just Facebook or like TikTok?
It started on Facebook, so I knew better that when I got onto TikTok, don't even read the DMs.
Like what are we talking here? Solicitation? Like we're talking like come I live at 555.
I mean, it was dating, I suppose, right? It was stuff people asking you out or wanting to
asking you out. It's not salacious. I want to know like how dodgy does it get?
It was dodgy.
I think
really dodgy.
We should post some of those in the comments.
It was inappropriate comments. It was can I send you photos? Can I do this?
Photos.
So, I mean, it
dangerous.
was... Yeah.
On Facebook, can you get photos?
Yeah.
That's probably why they don't allow that on TikTok.
Right. And
they probably are like, we're going to take out that
That's
feature.
just it. You can't even... But
you can't.
I just knew. And plus, I would get a lot of people asking for things, not necessarily asking for, just money or whatever, but... asking for advice. On
all the time.
Really big issues.
Yeah, all the time.
And... I sometimes I just felt uncomfortable with that because I don't know who they are and I don't know exactly what the backstory is. So it's hard to give advice. I think when people hear that I'm a social worker or something, they like, know everything about their kids or how to get their kids back or, my husband's doing this or, oh, you teach relationship management and, oh, can you help me with this? So that became difficult. And plus I would be affected by some of the messages that would come in, especially if it was anything... There are certain things that I would find quite upsetting.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
When it came to TikTok, I just didn't really open them unless it was a friend, unless I had followed.
You almost missed out on some good opportunities because you didn't look at your DMs.
I missed out on my girlfriend's message, right? Because I didn't know because I don't read them, so I didn't even know she had messaged me. So when I went to message her, I was like, oh,
how long? This? What was the span?
Oh, I don't know, a couple of months.
Oh. That's awful.
It was bad. It was bad because it was like I had been watching
But you can't tell. Like if I there's no way if I DM somebody that's not following me, you can never tell if they've read it. Right?
Yep.
And now they've changed it so even you have to change your settings to even allow that. But you can't tell if they've read it. And I just assume that they don't get it. Like I don't know if you I just assume that they never saw it. We had been
following each other. I don't...
Oh, you didn't look at any of your messages?
No, I don't... That's what I mean. I missed out on a lot of things,
dude,
right?
What are you doing? Guys, just so you know how TikTok works, okay? It's kind of like Instagram in the sense that you have regular message. Like if you're following somebody and they're following you, you have a regular inbox that messages can come in. Very clear. It shows you a little number. And then you have this other like requested area. So on TikTok, it's the same thing, but it's harder to find. I didn't know I had these secret messages for a long time.
The other box or whatever.
Messages or something like that. So all these people that I follow, I can see. And then this message box, I'm like, oh, what is that? And I clicked on that and I had like so many in there.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about that box.
No,
you never even clicked on messages?
No, because we always followed each other. Wow. And I watched her and watched her and watched her and watched her. And then she came on to my live and it was just kind of that stuff. But I'm not the type of person to
What was the first message?
DM somebody. I
it was one of those. It was.
No, I think I had duetted her.
I tried to send you a picture and you won't accept it.
No, neither of us. No, we don't do that. But no, the first one was that because she had made a video for me and I had a T-shirt made and I duetted her and then I think think maybe that was the first message, and that she said something about the duet. But of course,
You didn't see it.
I just kept it to the comments on the, and it, it was funny. What was so funny was that I had written a comment like 3 or 4 times, but I didn't realize there was a time difference. I wasn't even thinking, because she's in Australia.
Right.
I'm thinking, oh, that's too much. She's going to be uncomfortable with that. So I deleted it because she didn't reply. And I was like, okay, I'll try this one. And I'd write it a different way. And I was like, oh, but meanwhile, she's asleep. It's the middle of the night, right? So I'm freaking out.
So you're thinking she's not answering you quick enough.
I'm thinking I've made her feel uncomfortable. Right?
Because you sent the picture?
Because
I need to know.
There was no picture.
What was
this
the
on
dodgy
TikTok? This is on
I need to know
TikTok.
what the dodgy
It's a
message
comment.
is. What were you
It's not a
expressing your
message.
feeling? What were you doing that
No.
you think were...
It was
Did you say I'm ready to
on-
move to Australia? What were you doing?
It was a comment on the video. That's how
Oh,
silly
my
I am.
God, it wasn't even in her DMs.
No, but this is the thing. I
So
have
you have
this,
a lot of TikTok people going,
so I
"Look
have
at
this
that comment." Oh,
crush on her. She makes a video. I'm like, oh, she makes the video. So I order a shirt that says, I have a huge lesbian crush on you. I duet her in the shirt.
And that's it.
So then she writes on the comment, oh, this is great. I can't believe something. And I said, no, I had the shirt made for you. She's like, what? This sort of thing. And then I wrote something like, of course, like, you're my TikTok girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, that's too much. It's too much. She's not answering. This is horrible. So I delete it. And then I think, no, okay, I'm going to write something better. So I write it, and then she doesn't answer. I'm like, okay, that's inappropriate too. So I delete it.
my
I'm like, she's going to
God.
think I'm
For what?
insane. Meanwhile, she's asleep.
Maybe you're not middle-aged.
It's
I
the
think
middle
this
of
is
the
more of a
night.
17-year-old kind of response.
No, I'm like 80.
I need to see all. It would be so awesome
I
if you had
deleted
all
and
of
deleted.
these.
It was like 3 or 4 times until I finally said, no, this is okay. And I said, and then she replies when she wakes up, but it's the middle of the night. At the time, I have no
17
idea.
comments later.
Yeah. I just keep
Such a
thinking
sad
she's
story.
going to think I'm a psycho, and I've totally screwed up the whole thing.
That was it.
Yeah.
You had a whole T-shirt made, and you think commenting "You're my TikTok girlfriend's" the edge.
Yeah. But I don't know what I was
I don't
thinking.
think you're
Listen,
thinking
that's
too
how
straight.
it went down, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not
All
really... It's
Look,
yeah.
it's all worked out.
It has worked out.
It has worked out.
It has worked out, and we did the ultimate of lesbian moves.
Which was
Like an actual U-Haul.
like an actual. Well, it's not even. It wasn't an actual U-Haul because you can't get a U-Haul from Australia.
Right,
this
but
is bigger than a U-Haul. This
How
is next
many-
friggin' level
This
lesbian.
is next level, but it's the... Okay, so our first date,
I know the story.
we move in together.
That's right, guys. When Melissa was good, I'm going to tell a story. Is it
Yeah.
okay if I tell this
Yeah,
story?
yeah.
So Melissa, head over heels in love. She's moved. Tracy's moving here. Everything's amazing. Life's perfect. Whatever. And it's getting closer to time. I'm like, dude, are you a little nervous? Is this feeling a little like you have never met her? And then in my head, I go, and it came right at my mouth because I have no filter. I said, oh, you've never kissed her.
Yeah.
What if the kiss is bad? You can't look, and it's not because
And Anna was there too. I think we were talking about
and
it,
it's
the three
not
of us.
because the other person is a bad kisser. It's just sometimes everybody knows that sometimes it doesn't go. Yes, one person is a top lip person, the other one licks too much, whatever the case may be. And you are gonna find this out with she sold all of her stuff. Dude, she left her dog. When she left her dog, I think I got the most nervous for you. Because I'm like, dude, you can sell a car. You can move out an apartment. You can even buy a plane ticket. She left her animal. And I know her
felt the
well enough to
same
know,
way.
like, it would have broken her heart.
I
and
felt
then-
the same way.
and then the kiss. Was it in
and
the
we
airport?
talked about it. No, it wasn't in the airport. And we talked about it
Did Noah be at the
lots.
airport? In the car?
No, because I didn't want it to be in the airport. And then as it turned out with COVID...
You
I couldn't go in the
mask.
airport.
Oh, you
'cause we
couldn't go in
had
the
all these
airport.
magical thoughts of her coming out of the gate and us embracing.
Somebody should have been filming
Except
that.
for it was COVID. You couldn't go in the airport. So I had to pick her up. I had to be in my
And
car.
at the end of the day, if anybody knows the Toronto airport, you have to like circle around consistently and just time it
Well, see,
perfectly
though, that's
so
the
she
best
can
part,
like
Joe.
military roll into your Jeep.
That's the best part. So I try to park the car in the parking lot so I can walk in. At least we can meet
As you
on the
should.
bridge.
If anybody's seen that Seinfeld episode, you always meet them at the gate. But go ahead.
I couldn't.
But
They
the gate
said no.
outside the door of the
No, but
gate,
on
that's
the
the best you can do.
bridge.
You can't even meet her there?
No, they say no. So I I paid for parking, and I leave the parking lot. So now I'm circling, and the security guard's saying, go, go, go. You got to keep moving.
Yeah,
so,
they're serious
But
there.
they were better because it's COVID. So I'm sitting, and I'm getting really nervous.
I would have sweat right through my shirt.
Calling my sister. I'm like, okay. So then she's texting because she's here, and I'm like, I can't even, like, it's going to be minutes. I'm dying. And then she's like,
I even know how it turns out. I feel a little nauseous right now.
Then she's like, okay, I'm coming out right now. And I was like, okay, like I'm breathing, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, I'm at like 14. And she's like, well, we don't have numbers here. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm at number 14. I've been here the whole time. She's like, I don't know, I'm at C. I was like,
C?
I'm in the wrong terminal.
Were you? Where were you? 3?
Yeah.
Who goes to 3?
I don't know.
Nobody goes
Joe,
to
I was
3.
nervous. I had looped. I had gone
You
around the
looped
horn.
and you went to the wrong
I had to
terminal?
go back on the highway. I said, wait. She goes, no, I'll walk there. I go, just
Walk
wait.
to Terminal 1.
So now we're fighting because I'm like, just wait.
Amazing.
And then
I think this is the look. I'm sorry for interrupting. You're going to continue. This is the best because if you can have your first fight before your first date, I am 100% in.
crazy.
First kiss before they even kiss. They're bickering. Go ahead.
Yeah, so she wants to
Walk to Terminal 1.
And
It's
I'm like,
a jaunt.
okay, no, just wait. And I'm driving, I'm on the highway now, and I'm thinking, oh my God, now I'm going to pull up and she's going to be standing there.
It's amazing.
And for some reason, she's not really telling me what she's wearing, but I've told her already what I was wearing. I didn't really know what she was wearing, but of course, like, I'm going to know her. I mean, I've been talking to her for 8 hours a day for 10 months.
That's one hell of a phone bill.
Then I pull up and that's it. I'm parked because I know she's there. And then I got to just kind of look for her. And then I get out of the car. Now, from her perspective, now that I know the story, is she saw this person sort of flash beside her. It was like, oh, that person has the same shirt as Melissa.
Amazing. But that can't be her. She's way too middle-aged.
But then I see her.
You like how I brought that back around?
No. Well, and we talked about that. I was just saying to her, look, I have wrinkles. Like, don't.
I will not be bringing my ring light to our first kiss.
Well, yeah, and then then I see her, and I was like, oh my God, that's her. So no matter how much you prepare, real life is very different. And I was like, oh, she's so tall. But I knew how tall she was, but she was tall, and I always joke.
Oh, for the love of God, was that your first word to her?
No,
you're so tall.
It's in my head because,
okay.
and I've done a TikTok about it. Was that like, oh my God, I'm Donkey and she's Shrek? Like, what is happening?
Donkey and Shrek? Why would you go there? What a weird
massive.
I understand. You know what I mean? But I understand the tall, the short thing. But Donkey?
Because she kept saying the whole time, she's like, I just know you're going to be 5 feet. I'm like, I'm 5'6". That's what I am. I have no reason to lie to you. And she's saying she's 5'7". I go, it's an inch. I know what an inch is. It's fine. Then I get there and I'm like, hi. But she's wearing high heels.
Oh, there you go.
Right?
It's the extra 3 inches right there, folks.
It was just totally crazy. And she was wearing a hoodie that I had sent her of mine. And,
you were wearing high heels and a hoodie?
We're going to lose high heel boots. She doesn't wear shoes until she came here.
Boots. Oh, right. She was a flip-flop person.
Yeah. So she doesn't even, doesn't have any shoes. This is a whole new thing. But I am hugging her like I'm lost in the mall and I found my dad and I'm hugging his leg. That's what it felt like to me. Like, oh, thank God I found you, at Children's Services. And this is what it felt like to me. This is from my perspective. This is what it felt like. And I was like, what have I done? Like, this is like Amazonian. Like, this is crazy. She's so huge. And anyways, but then when I realized she was wearing heels, it was fine. We really are only an inch apart. But then when she got in the car.
What was your first word? Hi?
I think just
Shrek?
I don't even know. I think just hi. Like, I don't even know.
Hi.
It was just,
you hugged her,
blacked
you got
out.
in the car.
Then I was like, let's get in the car. And then we were sitting in the car and it was like, well, do we drive? Like, what do we do? Even though we had talked about this.
Right now. And what?
And her voice sounded different. I said, oh my, your voice is so high.
She catfished her voice.
And she said I looked different. And we called each other the stranger. It was the stranger because every once in a while for even still to this day that I'll just go, oh, you're the stranger, because it's not always. Sometimes I'll watch our old videos of FaceTime and think, oh, like, because that was not the girl that that's here. It's different. It's like there's
real life is different. There's always a good angle on FaceTime. Nobody's sitting in bed like this on FaceTime.
Oh no, I thought she looked way better. Like she looked way better when she got here than on the FaceTime, but it was just a different thing. Like we
on the FaceTime, it's like the email.
Well, no, we did it on Insta. Actually, we did Insta, not FaceTime.
Not FaceTime.
But we did decide at the very end. One time we had to FaceTime because Instagram was down, and we FaceTime. And when it came on, we both started screaming because we looked so bad. And I was like, oh my God. So then we had to go off.
FaceTime is bad.
And it looks bad. And I was like, oh.
I'm all about the inverted filter.
So we did do a couple of more FaceTimes, so we knew.
Wait. So you drive away from Terminal 1 at this point. Just so everybody knows, everybody's airport's messy and frustrating. So you drive out of there, you're liable to get into an accident. Where's the kiss, Melissa? We want to get to the first kiss.
So I had said to her, look, I don't want to kiss you in the airport on the side of the thing. Like, I don't want that. Like, I would like our first kiss to be, like, at least, In
a Tim Hortons?
Yeah, like,
somewhere.
Nice. Oh, I said we could kiss in the car.
In the car.
That's not private. Would be nice.
The
but
Jeep.
No, she didn't even really want to hold my hand because she was so, like, stunned. And I was like,
oh, you're thinking, uh-oh.
Okay, so here we are. So I've got this woman in the car.
Wait, stand by before you go any further. Yeah. I had asked Melissa because I was very nervous about this. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to need something for you. I understand that you're going to be all focused on Trace and getting her and all of that. You'd be very excited, but you're going to need to take a minute. I'm going to need a thumb up icon or a thumb down icon.
We came up with what's it going to be?
I need a thumb up. It's good. Thumb down. I don't need a big explanation, but I need to know if this is okay or if I need to drive over there and something, And so, carry on.
Yeah.
So you're driving. Not in the car. No holding hands. Good for you. How to hold out.
But I've got this woman in the car that's
stranger.
We're moving into our new house together today, like in 1 hour, in 45 minutes, right? And I'm like, okay. So then
45 minutes.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
45
so
minutes
then
to get to know each other.
We get home. I'm like, here's the house in real, because we had always, like, I always joke because we FaceTime, like I carried her over the threshold the day we got the house, and I just was like on the phone with her.
Nice,
right?
nice.
So, but she had never seen it like in person.
So you're at the house, you still haven't kissed.
We still haven't kissed because what am I doing? Like, when am I doing this?
I don't know.
This is weird. But meanwhile,
I can't believe I don't know this story. I don't even know. I haven't even asked you the story. Okay, continue.
So then I'd like, do you want a tour of the house? So she says, yeah.
Baby.
So we do a tour of the house.
You want a tour of the house?
And I thought that I would be the one to make the first move, but I wasn't. And
that a girl.
She might tell the story differently, but we toured, and then when we came out into the hallway, I was showing her the coat closet, and then she just shut the door.
That's the most romantic place.
And kissed me.
She took you into the closet?
No, she just shut it. She's like, oh my God, I don't care about the closet. And then, yeah, that was it.
There it is. You should mark that spot.
And then I sent you the thumbs up.
There should be an X on the ground. I'd paint one right in there.
And then I sent you the thumbs up. And then it was fine. And then it was like such a relief because
the kiss that's it.
Because I was worried. I told you, but I was worried because someone can look a certain way and be a certain way, and then if the kiss is bad, nothing else matters.
No, it all goes to you. Can't come. You don't come back.
And we knew that. We had talked about that because we were like, you can't fix kissing.
Nope, you can't.
So
no, you can't.
But it was fine. It was great, and then the rest is sort of weird history.
I feel like my story's so boring in comparison. I mean, we took it. I remember Etta looking at me at some point and saying like, oh, by the way, I'm not moving in for a year. And I'm like, what? And like, we're a few months in. I'm like, I haven't asked, but I was about to. So why so much? She's like, well, I go, why a year? Did you read that? Like, Betty Crocker's, the 10 things to do to keep a man.
I don't understand. Thing to do.
And she's like, well, no, because I just think that's reasonable. I'm like, oh, that's reasonable. But sliding into my DMs, and then us pretty much, we didn't move in, but then spending every waking moment together. Yeah, so she made me wait. I would have moved in earlier.
Well, and it was the same with us.
Your earlier.
No, it was the same with us. Like, as soon as we started talking, it was like instant. It was this weird thing where it's like, so you're moving here, right? Because I can't go there.
Right.
I can't go there because I have kids. And she was like, yeah. It was just this weird thing, and it was just so, and we knew it was weird the whole time. Every single conversation we had was, this is so weird. Can you even believe we're doing this? Because we kept saying, we're doing this. This is crazy.
Yeah. And then you moved into, if anyone's seen The Money Pit, I'd like you to
did.
channel that movie.
We did move into the money pit. It was crazy.
And then you moved in there, and you've been renovating ever since. And the fact that
because
you
she
haven't
wasn't-
broken up yet.
She wasn't supposed to
is
come so
another
early
thing.
because she was in
'cause
Australia.
you were waiting to get the visas because
we
of
didn't
COVID.
think
yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't think because of COVID she would get the exemption,
Right.
and so I kept saying to her, "Don't worry, it'll be done. Like by the time you get here, things will be like." And then we applied and we
It's the worst
we got
pitch
it.
ever.
It was crazy.
Gotta
I know.
move in
I did.
to a
It wasn't a lie.
dust-ridden.
I told her when we got the exemption, we were like, so I can't even describe to you the feeling that was like, this is really happening.
Right.
To, oh my, like I have to get a shower curtain because there's no doors.
Well, because
like,
let's be honest, you were living like a homeless, like somebody
Yeah.
who was squatting in an abandoned house. That's how you were living.
I
You
was
showed me
living on the
pictures. That
floor.
you slept on the floor on like not even a mattress, not even a blow up mattress, but like a thin camping,
it was a pad.
horrible pad that and that was it. That's how you were living. You had a little you charger beside your friggin'. It wasn't even a pillow. She didn't even have a pillow. She had rolled up.
A Paw Patrol blanket. Yeah.
That's how you're living.
Yeah, so that's and a Winnie the Pooh blanket, and so that's how. Yeah, and then when I thought, oh, I have to
gotta
get
get a bed.
so that was the first thing.
Yeah.
So I had ordered the bed, but I got it delivered, so that she had a bed at least, and then everything else was going to be. I was like, I'm sorry, I just this is going to be terrible. And we have survived thus far through the worst of it.
By far the worst.
Yeah.
No, you had look, you threw down right away. I think it's all very, timely, and I think it says a lot about the quality of your foundation over the past year. The fact that you can have so many fights and not even have kissed yet.
It's crazy.
All right, so from TikTok, you meet, love of your life and move in and all of those amazing things, but you're also doing a lot of other cool things coming off TikTok. Did you want to talk about any of those cool things?
Yeah, I am writing a book.
Oh.
That's probably one of the biggest.
And the focus
things.
of the book will be
a little bit of memoir, and then just sort of how-to tips.
Because that's really, I think a lot of your popularity too stems from the fact that you're a woman who knows how to do a lot of stuff, like a lot of very, very practical things. And I think for a lot of people, not just women, but for a lot of people, knowing how to do not super difficult things, but even a handful of basic things around the house saves you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of stress. Yep. So if you're going to say 5 things before we roll out of here, you got 5 things. You're going to teach me 5 things. I know nothing. Thank you very much. You're going to teach me 5 things. What are those 5 things going to be? Like, that's it. You get 5. I get 5 lessons. Send me on my way.
So basic tools.
Basic tools.
What are they and how to use them? Like a drill.
A drill. So I go buy a drill.
Yeah. Allen keys.
Allen
Screwdrivers.
keys. Ooh,
a
Allen
level,
keys. Screwdriver.
and how
level.
to read a tape measure.
Who doesn't know how to read a tape?
Lots of people don't know how to read a tape measure.
You just look at the numbers.
No, but then they say 25 and 2 ticks. You and I did a TikTok about that.
I like saying 2 ticks. There's nothing wrong. That's not because I read it wrong. My
some
vernacular
people know
is
half
just
and
different.
3/4, but they don't know 5/8.
All right. So that. Well, number 2, what?
How to do laundry. A lot of people don't know how to do laundry.
What do you mean by that?
Just how to do laundry.
You put it in, you press the play button.
But no, a lot of people don't know how to separate, that you do need to separate colors, that you need to sort.
Does the peanut gallery hear that? You do need to separate colors.
Yeah.
Testing.
Listen, a lot of people don't know that because they've either...
Do you wash all your clothes in cold?
No, not all of them. Some. Most.
All right. You also don't use fabric softener?
I don't.
Of any kind? You put some like little beads in the dryer?
Just for scent.
That's it?
Because I use unscented soap.
You don't even use like the liquid fabric softener?
No.
Interesting.
No.
Okay. Number 2, number 3?
I would say painting.
How to cut a room, how to paint. It's so easy.
Makeover kind of.
Inexpensive, easy. And if you learn how to do it right, absolutely.
Yeah. And my grandmother always
Do you
painted.
tape when you cut?
No, I don't.
Not a girl. Yeah. All right. Number 4. Is that it? You can do your top 3.
Those are the top ones. I think don't be afraid to try is my thing. You know, not everybody. I think, yeah, you should know how to patch a hole in a wall.
Patching a hole. Yep, I think that's a good
Not only
one.
just, you know, you start off with drywall compound because it's a little tiny hole, but then you can easily learn how to patch drywall.
Now, I've done a beautiful job in my bedroom.
Yeah,
I'll show you
oh
guys that
boy,
one.
have you ever?
It's
But
pretty. Right now, there's a picture over top of it.
I think my main thing in a lot of about the book and the memoir part is telling stories of kind of how I became sort of skilled in certain things.
Right.
And it was just, it's trial and error. It's trying things and failing. And it's practicing. A lot of women, unfortunately, don't try. And a lot of men are under an extreme amount of pressure to know. Because they are expected to know.
Sure.
And they don't know. And I think it's very difficult on men because it's just an expectation. And for women, they also like to pretend like they could never do it.
Right.
Because they don't also want to. They want their husband to do it, or they want to complain
hell,
about the
I don't
husband
want to do it.
not
I
doing
ask Anna
it.
to do it all the time.
Well, and it's just one of those things. You don't have to love it, but it's very sort of liberating to
it
be
is
able to
liberating
just
when
do
you do it. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I would stay away from electrical.
I mean,
and plumbing does scare the crap out of me. But
people to do their own electrical or to do their own plumbing. I will do a very small amount, but I know what's beyond me. I know what my limits are, but you know, there have been things that I have tried and I have failed. I like to build furniture. I like to do a lot of things, but I have made things that are horrendous or that didn't work, or you know, but it's just practice, and you have to be able to try it. I think a lot of people say, I could never do that. I could never do that.
But it's so true, and you kind of have to be thrown into it. I mean, I think I'm the kind of person that does, like, even something as simple as hanging, let's say, I don't know, blinds. Like, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to do it. I'll just pay somebody to do it, because you don't want to do it wrong. You don't want to mess it up. And then I personally don't want to have a level of frustration. But it's interesting, because one of the things I did learn to do, because my uncle is an amazing person. He'll come down and I'll say, oh, Ray, my sink won't drain in my kitchen. And he's like, well, just do this. I'm like, that seems horrible. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. And then he'll say, I'm going to come over and we're going to do it. So we did it together. And it was amazing because, you know, for anybody who doesn't know, there's this little U-shaped thing at the bottom. You unscrew it. You empty out all the crap that's stuck in there. And that's about the size of it. Now, here's the funny part. When I was putting it back in, and I was feeling very proud of myself. Because I'm like, damn, I am good at this. This was disgusting, but it's good. It's gone. Everything's good. And I'm turning it. Here's a key, ladies. Men, whoever listening, don't over tighten.
Right.
So I over tightened it. I broke it.
You crack it.
I cracked it. So then then I'm like, this is why. And you know, my frustration goes to about a 10. I'm like, this is why I don't do anything or whatever. And he's like, well, we're gonna have to go to Home Depot. And I just go make friends with people at Home Depot, and I say, this is what happened. He goes, here's what you're gonna do. So we bought the replacement piece. I went back. I put it on. We put the silicone on. It's worked perfectly forever.
Well, and that's just
I feel
it.
pretty proud.
Yeah, because that's the thing is it's
I
very
could tackle
you
that.
feel quite accomplished when you've
Yes.
done it yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the other thing is there's a couple of things. So when somebody's doing something, watch and ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's how I've learned everything. I mean, I worked in construction, but certainly I didn't know how to do anything before. And then, you know, it's just there's so many parts to it that I think that a lot of people just don't even think they can do it, so they don't even try.
Exactly.
And so the key is to
I think that's a nice lesson of life.
ask and learn and practice and fail.
Absolutely.
And
as
then
long
try
as you
again.
Don't flood your house.
Yeah. Listen, I don't take
do
on
anything
plumbing and crazy stuff
Except
like
for that drain. You can do the drain very easily.
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
dislocated. I disconnected my washer dryer. I felt very accomplished that day. I know that's a really easy thing, but I felt
Right,
pretty
but
good
it's
about
just a process. Like you've called me a few times about some things, and it's like, okay, well,
an
I
electrical
don't know
one.
either.
Yeah, you just walked me through every step. You're like, go check the breaker, go check this. There should be a reset button. I'm like, there is no reset button. You're like, dude, calm down. Check the wall. There's gonna be a light switch. It's gonna have a little. I'm like, oh, click.
Well, and
That was
that's it's just a matter of doing.
I
it
was about to
once
call
and
an
then-
electrician.
But then you would remember. And then
Yeah.
see, I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll just pay someone to do it. But if you think about all of the little things that people don't even want to try, it's very hard to pay somebody to do that. Who are you paying to put up your blinds? Who are you going to pay to come
I'm
patch
paying Melissa.
a nail hole? Like, people don't, right? Like, there's
Yeah,
nobody that
no,
does
for
those
sure.
teeny tiny jobs. So those are the things that you want to know how to do on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah.
Well, Finn, do you have a name for your book yet?
I do not. We don't
We do
have. There's a working title, but it is not final. So.
All right. Well, we're gonna plug that later. Do you want to give your TikTok name for the people at home?
So I'm the same on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and it's Melissa Dilks Pateras.
And I'll put that in the comments and the description of the episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Joey. Anytime.
You can come back and we'll tell the story if they survived all of the renovations. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat station. Dismissed.